Hi, my name is Rashana. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a registered nurse, and I have 4 kids from 8 to 6 months.
Hi, I'm Monique. I'm an attorney. I'm from Long Island, from Elma, born and raised in Queens, both boroughs, you know. And I have 2 beautiful boys from the age of 1.5 to 5.5. 1.5 and 5. There's only 2. Thank God, 2. That's it.
Hi, I'm Shakira. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I currently reside in Long Island. I work for Haynes Brand International as the regional district manager. I have 1 10-year-old girl, and that's my business.
Hi, I'm Dougie. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm 31, and I have a 4-month-old, and I'm also an electrician.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm from Brooklyn. I am a teacher, and I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, age 10 and 7.
Like, you gotta have a strong village. The stronger your village, the better. Like, the more babysitters, the more cousins. Like, utilize everybody. Like, oh, that's my baby daddy. I don't like him, but his mother could watch my child. Like, you know, like, that's fine. You have to have a strong village. Once you have like babysitters on deck, you could go. You could have a life. You could do things. As long as you know your child is in a safe, secure place. Then other than that, that's a challenge. You just gotta be. It's scary. Like you don't want to leave your child with just anybody. But the more support you have, the better. At the end of the day, the less support. I know people that don't have support because they're not from New York or they're not from here, and it's hard for them. Oh, I work 12-hour shifts. Okay, daycare is like $300 a week, and you're a single mom, and it's hard when you don't have a support system. Because even when you're not at work and your child is at daycare, but even if you don't have to go to work, if you just want to go have a drink with your friends, if you want to just go to the grocery store by yourself, you need that support system around you.
Yeah, I be lying.
Essential.
I be lying sometimes.
I hope. Yeah, I gotta work.
Right. So I'd be like, I have a meeting. I'll be
That's
home
true.
like in 3 hours.
Yeah, I feel like when I first had my daughter, I was young. Like, I guess I graduated 05, had my daughter in 06. I was in college. I didn't have a lot of, like, at first it just was like, you feel ashamed. Like, oh, people, they look down on me like, you know better than this. You should do this and this, that, and third. But, you get over it. You push through and everything. I still graduated. I still did everything I had to do. A lot of us could compare ourselves to people without kids, and it's just like, dang, you don't got no kids, and you did, like, like, I got a baby and I'm a parent, like, you have to know, I think it makes you a stronger person when you have a child. It makes you more driven and more focused, because it's like, I don't got time for this, that, and the third. I need to make sure.
And then when the people that supporting you see that you still have goals that you want to reach,
they'll support you even more
than willing to help you.
Yes.
And support you.
Okay, you need somebody, okay, you got a godmother, godfather, uncle, aunt, cousin, everybody. Like this one bought the Uggs, this one bought a jacket. It's not just about babysitting. It's like takes a village. Kids are expensive. Like, oh, your grandmother took you to get your hair nails done. Good, thank you.
I commend my mother, because when my son was little, that was her baby. Like she took care of him. That was her baby. Like everything that had to do with him, that was her son. So he was little, and I was going through a tough time also when he was younger. So that was a great help to me. That was her baby. Up until this day, that's her baby. That is her baby.
Yeah. I feel bad for people who don't have a support system. I don't know how they do it. Like, people complain about immigrants, and I'm like, they work like 2-3 jobs and they have kids, and I'm like, do you know how expensive daycare is?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think these people are doing? They are struggling. The struggle is real for these people. And I'm like, I don't know how they do it, because I have a very strong support system. I got my family. I have cousins all over. I can drop my kids off for 2 hours. I can go get my hair and my nails, or go grocery shopping, or get a massage.
Yeah, I never get to take my daughter grocery shopping, because you take them, they want to buy everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to go without her, but I'm like, people don't have that luxury.
They don't.
You see the kids running up and down. You gotta take your kids everywhere with you, to the lawyer's office, to the hair salon, to the
That's exactly why I haven't moved to Virginia, because all my support is here. I'm just like, I don't know nobody in Virginia. What do you want me to come down there for? I'm gonna be miserable because I don't have any friends there. It's just you, and I'm sorry if I keep seeing you every day. It's gonna be.
It's not gonna really work out.
It's you, your daughter, your sister. It's 3 women, 2 boys. No, we're gonna stay here with the man. Because when I was young, whether my father's going out to drink beers with his boys or whatever, I was always with him. And I want that for my son. So that's why I'm like, yo, he has to be with me no matter what. I think, yes, there's women that raise strong men, but when you have your father, it's a different story.
Yeah,
it's a completely
I love
different thing.
men should raise men, okay? A female should not have to raise a man. Even if you're not together with the mother, you know, you as a dad, that's your job. You need to raise you. We could teach him how to treat a woman, but we can't teach him how to be a man.
Yep. Yeah. Like my son, he puts his hand in his pants, and I'm like, what are you, like, why do men do that? Like, what are you doing? Like, there are certain things. Yeah, I'm like, you're 5. I'm like, get it out. It's nasty. Go wash your hands. But like, there, like, it, yuck. But you know, there are certain things that men can only teach boys. You know what I mean? Like, we can't do it. We're strong women, but they need, if the father's not in their life, they need male role models. I mean, they do. We can't do everything. I don't know how to raise a man. I don't know. I'm not a man.
I mean, technically I'm with her, but it's complicated because she's somewhere else. But yeah, so for me, it's just like I'm just doing what I have to do so he's raised properly. When I walked in earlier, I was having a conversation about men talking with the police and stuff like that. No matter, men as men, when you're talking to men, you have to have a certain kind of respect. In the work field, friendship, you have to have that respect. And a lot of people don't understand that if you don't have that respect, nothing goes through. Nothing. Like, they don't even try to hear nothing you say. No. So I want him to learn that, because when I get pulled over by the cops, I'm not so big. So the intimidation is already coming from them already, and I'm just like, yo, you can relax. I was like, yo, here's what you need, and that's it. They come out, or they'll do the reverse and be like, well, I'm gonna come out extra aggressive, and then you have to be able to pick apart and see what type of person is coming at you.
Who you dealing with.
And I think that's something that needs to be taught to all black boys, period.
You know, it really just depends on what you teach your children normal is, right? Like, if they feel like there's something wrong with, if your children feel like there's something wrong with being in a divorced household, or, you know, your father's not around, then that affects them. But if you teach them that it's normal, and this is normal, and millions of other children are like that, and they're loved and they have love, then it doesn't really matter. But once you start to stigmatize it, like, oh yeah, daddy's not around, or your mother's not around, and that's when it starts to affect them. I mean, and not to say that they don't feel the effects of a parent or partner not there, but it's all in how we explain that to them and expose them to what a family unit is, because it's so different now. Like, a lot of people aren't together. Parents co-parent, or one parent's not around. And it's all about like how you teach your child normal is, and as long as they feel love and they know that it's fine, whatever the living situation is, I think that they'll be fine. You know, because it's hard. You could be in, like, my marriage obviously is not perfect because it's a hard dynamic. If you have 2 young kids, you're young, you're working, and you're trying to like build a family, but you're also trying to remain individuals, and then, you know, be husband and wife, and then have friends. And I mean, something has to give. You have to make sacrifices. And if you're not happy and you don't have that unit, your children see that too. So it's just really about doing what's best with you, for your children, no matter what that is. So if you gotta move because you gotta move and give up, now I'm just saying, like, because at the end of the day, you have a child with somebody, and it's not about you anymore. It's about what is gonna be the best for my child. And I'm not saying that you have to move to be with her for that to be the best situation, but it's not always about being around your friends and your family. You have a life with this other woman, and sometimes you have to leave your nest and leave your comfort zone to make a new family and a new, you know, just because that might be what's best for your child. I'm not saying that it is. Every dynamic is different.
I understand
but
and
sometimes
get
we need to
fully what you're saying,
you know.
But I look at it as you're still active duty, so at any time you gotta go.
It's not just Virginia.
Let me ask you a question. Don't you think that it's really hard for her though?
I'm sure it is.
Really hard for her.
I was gonna say,
3 months old.
She left that
Like, that's like,
no,
that's
she's
like,
but that's
She
I can't imagine, like.
She sees him every weekend, and like after work, my 7-hour drive straight down there with baby in the car. Every weekend, no matter what.
Yeah.
So she sees him every weekend. So it's not like I'm being a dick and like,
no.
But it's like,
But you have to also look at her shoes also, because that is a very hard thing as a new mother to leave your child, and especially going active duty. She's putting herself in danger, you know,
I
for.
fully understand.
And you
like,
know,
but
she
we're
has
not
a child. Like,
When she finished, we
I
still
can't
here.
imagine.
I fully understand.
I can't imagine. Wow. Like I know she's like really hurting. Like she probably out there thinking like, oh my gosh, I wonder if he's so. Like that's probably on her brain most of the time.
I read articles, and there are women who are like, you could keep the baby. I don't want nothing. I want to go back to my life. I don't want nothing to do with it. So for me, I'm like, I don't know that every mother feels
maybe.
the
They don't.
attachment that we feel.
Every mom feels that way.
You know,
Everybody is
Because some of
different.
them have PTSD. They have like, you know,
they have
a lot of things going on, but they don't know they have it going on. That's why they can't, you know,
There's no
like, when
attachment.
they can't attach to their child.
But when you have postpartum depression, you tend to like probably have bad thoughts about the child, about yourself. You want to endanger yourself. You don't want to touch the kid, see the kid, hear the kid, and that can happen anytime from birth to 2 years. So you always have that risk, and that's why if you don't have a good support system, you can always fall into postpartum depression. So, and a lot of people don't understand, like when you have a baby, you have all those different hormones, and then the baby come out and you have a whole nother set of, it's just all over the place. They don't understand how much support a new mother needs.
And then you're sleep deprived.
Exactly.
You're
You
food
can
deprived.
snap at
Sometimes
any
you don't
time.
eat.
And then you gotta go back to work
Then
sometimes.
you gotta go back
6
to
weeks,
work. Yeah, so it's a lot.
It's hard.
It's a lot, and it's hard.
That's why I'm not gonna say like people can always choose who they have a baby with, but you need to do a lot of research.
Yep.
And you need to be with that person for a good amount of time before you have a baby with them, to make sure they're gonna be
Absolutely.
the person
Present.
you need them to be.
As a,
You know, like I mean, me and my fiance, we've been together for like 11 years.
Oh my God.
But and I'm not gonna say it's been a good 11 years. I'm not gonna say we haven't bumped heads all the time. But you know what? We're constantly trying to work. How can we be better for ourselves and for our children? And you know, it's a constant battle. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, as long as our kids see that we're trying to work towards something, I'm happy that they know that, you know, mommy and daddy love each other. Because all the time they always say like, it's so cute. They'll be like, oh, when I get married, I'm gonna have kids. And I'm like, yes.
when you get married.
You need love. Like, you know, like I think it's good for kids to see that.
I have co-parent with my child's father, but we haven't been together since she was like 1. So you know, it's a long co-parent. But you know, we co-parent good. She's there on the weekends. You know, he makes sure he do the right things, and we're better off as co-parents. And you know that was a challenge in the beginning because it's like new girlfriends and new boyfriends and I don't like this one, and you know it's a lot of mishmash. But after a while it just settles down and then you're able to co-parent, and you know my daughter's well rounded. I said don't if your child think you're a good parent, it don't matter what anybody else thinks. Okay, all right. Sometimes you're your own worst critic and you're the hardest on yourself. But then you know one day I was like being hard on myself. My mom was like, my daughter was like, Mom, you're the best mommy ever. I'm like, oh. So it's like, you know, most of my child think I'm the best mom and I'm doing what I need to do. I don't give a fuck about nobody else.
Like sometimes that communication is like the hardest, and you do not want the child to see that you're having button heads. So it's like I'm trying to go above and beyond so it will be right, so she wouldn't, you know, feel a certain way. Because she asked, okay, because her father's usually around. Okay, I called him up. You could call him. Like, you know, I have to make her feel comfortable that she can always be able to talk to him or always be around him, and not, you know, I have to put my feelings aside because sometimes I don't want to deal with him, because obviously, but I have to deal with him because I want her to feel comfortable that she can always have her both parents in her life. We don't have to talk to each other, we don't have to be cordial to each other, whatever, but we have to, you know, we have to at least come to some type of agreement for her. So we're still kind of working on it, so we'll see how it goes.